This week on West of Nowhere, we talk about a bill in Kentucky that almost made incest with your first cousin legal. Bill O'Reilly had a book being banned because of a book ban that he supported, which is ironic. Also, the electronic sign messages that are on the highway that sometimes make you laugh, apparently too funny, could cause people to wreck, so the feds are disabling those. And UFOs, this just in, might be extradimensional angels, so that's exciting. Also, a neo-Nazi was able to get on a voting ballot with multiple felony convictions, so that's exciting. And was the oldest dog in the world really that old? Guinness Book of World Records is reviewing this claim. Maybe be a fraud. And also, Italy finally cracking down on those dog turds that are all over the place with some dog DNA investigation. That and more on this episode of West of Nowhere.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, freak show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I am Levi.
And I'm Shane. And the deeper you allow yourself to go into the trance, the easier you will find it to examine the positive lessons you have learned and joyfully let go of any past resistance while you move about through your life every day.
Yeah. you know what that means. Yeah. So, speaking of people in trances, would you like to read off our supporters?
We'd like to thank Adam Pacino, Mark Stadler, Kylie Gangwish, Colby Jordan, Chantel, Kevin Garahan, Andres Valles, Lord Reverend Professor Rusty J. Lugnuts, and Colton Zammersla.
Yeah. If you would like to be one of those people, you can go to the link tree that's in the description. Go to Patreon. If not, you are more than welcome to go to the other links, like the YouTube, which is in there, and you can leave comments, which I will read right now. So, beginning with Decaf, about the story of not Dolores O'Riordan, but Sinead O'Connor dying of a broken heart.
Yeah.
She says, if someone dies of a broken heart, that is literally what they put on the death certificate. Crazy and so sad. And when I was looking up that story,
yeah,
I was reading the comments on the article, like the Reddit page where it was posted, and people were talking about that. And there's like an actual term that I did not look up for me telling this story. But yeah, it's like a legit thing that people are like very aware of happening. It's not just like an old wives' tale anymore. Like, it's legit. And then Pantera Girl, I haven't seen her name in a while. She says about the Ashton and Mila getting in trouble, quote unquote, in trouble for writing the character witness speech for Danny Masterson. She says it's total bull that they got so much blowback for writing letters, especially when it affects his ability to do something good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was kind of the idea that we had, the what we decided. She also says that the kid is not an asshole, but CPS is. The bedroom situation is really messed up. Yeah, that was... I just don't understand it. I mean, obviously, it's hard to get a full, real-life, like, realistic picture from a 13-year-old's perspective, because if you talk to a 13-year-old wrong, you can get... you could get a pretty gnarly story out of it. So it's like, I don't know how... Like, it doesn't seem like it would be anything that she would blow out of proportion, but... You also just don't know,
Yeah, no, I believe you.
Then she says she's never been to a Bass Pro shop and had no idea that they had fish tanks. What a way to find that out. You're welcome. I don't think all of them do. I think it's like the bigger ones have like full-on aquariums, not just fish tanks. Because I know there's other companies that have very similar setups. But like, there's Cabela's and Bass Pro, and then like there's I don't know what's out west, but I know there's like Shields is a Midwestern version. Like they're all the same thing. It's just
there's also fish and I think it's called Fish and Stream, which is like essentially like a Cabela's or Shields or whatever. Yeah.
I'm gonna level with you. I thought that was a magazine. So
I think it's. If I'm not, I'm almost positive it's also a restaurant or a restaurant.
a restaurant. Dude, this place is everything. While you're looking that up, she says, I went to watch the trailer for The Sound of Freedom and definitely will have to watch it, but at least now I know I will need a tissue box when I do. Yeah, I mean, it's, not the lightest of subject matter, I guess you can have in a movie, but like you said last week, where they take some liberties with the personal stories in it, so.
Oh, yeah.
While you're watching that, just keep that in mind.
All right, so I guess it's I don't know, man. I could have swore that it was it's Field and Stream.
Field and Stream.
But that is also they also have a magazine.
Well, so then I'm very confused.
I'm also confused.
Yeah.
I could there's 100%. There's some store with it's like some kind of animal and stream or
yeah.
I thought it was a body of water, whatever. I don't fucking know, dude. Because we went when we were in I could have swore when we were in Texas when I was there for like 23 hours for that job.
Oh yeah.
But maybe I'm crazy and it was Field and Stream. But I thought Field and Stream was a magazine.
Well, way to go. Way to mess that up.
I guess I'm crazy. All right.
Probably. You probably never even been in Texas. Pantera Girl continues. The only thing I've ever learned about volcanoes in Iceland is that it allows them to use geothermal energy plants and allows them to cook bread in the ground. All right, yeah. I mean, I know what geothermal energy plants, but I've never heard of people in Iceland cooking their bread in the ground. But it's pretty wild.
Sounds made up.
Yeah. And she says that she likes the intro thing. So that's two people that comment pretty heavily that are enjoying it. So that's good. So I guess continue. So there's some really interesting stories that I found this week, and I'm pretty excited about it. Number 1, Kentucky Republican pushes bill to make sex with first cousin not incest. You're welcome.
Finally, dude. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I've been waiting forever for this.
A man for the people. You know what I'm saying?
No, dude. See, first
First cousin.
That's too close. That's too
Yeah.
close. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, I feel like if any cousin is too close, just because they're family, it's just,
Yeah.
ugh.
It's super weird.
Now look, fourth cousins, fine.
Oh.
You know what I mean? The cousins you only see like at big family reunions once every 10 years, go for it.
Okay.
But your aunt's,
That's
but
your
your
rule?
aunt, but your aunt's daughter, no,
Yeah,
stop it. That's fucking
super
creepy.
Weird. Yeah.
Like at least your fourth cousin is so far back, it's not really like you're fucking your cousin, even though you are.
Yeah. All right. So Kentucky law states that a person is guilty of incest if they engage in a sexual relations with a person that they know to be his or her parent, child, grandparent, grandchild, great-grandparent, great-grandchild, uncle, aunt, nephew, niece, brother, sister, first cousin, ancestor, or descendant. I'm out here fucking my ancestor.
I was gonna say why don't you just say
specific.
well, why don't you just say ancestor or descendant, because that just covers all those.
Yeah. Yeah. So this amendment that this guy's pitching
Okay.
is to remove the first cousin from that list.
He's definitely banging his first cousin.
Yeah, and you want to see what he looks like?
Yes. He's 100% banging his cousin, dude.
So that's Nick Wilson.
Cousin fucker.
Oh man. Yeah, so that's super weird, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
100%. Yeah, that's odd, dude.
I can't even find in the article why he's like, this is actually a really good idea.
Dude,
But-
I'm telling you, either he's doing it or he has a really good buddy from college who knows some embarrassing shit about him, and he's like, "Yo, dude, I'm gonna bang my first cousin, so I need you to make it legal."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I got you, dude. You just got to delete those pictures you took of me. during a sophomore year or whatever, you know.
Yeah, so here's the blurb about it. It says, this is a bill to combat a problem of familial and cyclical abuse that transcends generations of Kentuckians. I understand that I made a mistake, but I sincerely hope my mistake doesn't hurt the chances of the corrected version of the bill. It is a good bill, and I hope it will get a second chance. So maybe put it in there on accident, but yeah, so I feel like you should probably know how to do that. And also, how specific? Like, why are you deleting one grouping in this? If, like, yeah, I forgot to add it back in. That's my bad, guys. That means you have a draft where there's shit missing. How many ancestors are we going now?
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I think he did it on purpose. It's 100%.
Yeah.
It's smart, dude. You're just like, you're typing it up and everything, and he's just like, you know what? Delete that word.
Yeah, what if they don't pay attention? Then I can bang my cousin. What's up? So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Do you remember when we were talking about some of like the book ban stuff in Florida?
Yeah.
So in that book ban, one of the people that helped, I guess, write it or championed it,
Yeah.
is one man that we know as part of our intro, Mr. Bill O'Reilly, who concludes the intro with the "We'll do it live." That guy. His book actually got filed in under the book ban stuff, so school districts had to pull his books in in relation to a ban that he helped like push forward. And he's not pumped about it. So it is kind of funny to see that happen though. It's like, hey man, there's a beautiful subreddit called Leopards Ate My Face. And it's like, typically it's things where it's like, all right, I have stood by for like belief system of this and this nature.
Yeah.
And then that belief system turns around and like slaps me in my face through XYZ, right? So this is like a really good example. Like we need to ban these books that are not good for kids to be reading, and then your book's gone. Like, so way to go. Way to go, Bill. Honestly forgot he existed. That was a nice time in my life. And then I saw his name pop up. I'm like, thanks a lot, Bill. Thanks for coming back. But whatever. So I have I don't know. All right. We're going to do this. You know when you're driving on a highway
Okay.
and you see those like yellow road maintenance sign things that are like caution ahead, and it's
Yeah.
like flashing lights and stuff. But you know when there's like not anything going it down, and then they like put messages on them. They're like, hey, like, you know, if you drink and drive, you're dumb or whatever. They try to be funny with them.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Two in the pink, one in the stink. Yeah.
yeah, they're like, wait a minute, hold on. Where's the exit? I gotta find that place. No, so the Federal Highway Administration is going to prevent those from being funny.
What?
They say that the signs should be simple, direct, brief, legible, and clear. So, you know, not like like here's some examples from the article that I found where it says in Massachusetts, one says use your blinker, and it's spelled with all H's instead of R's and stuff because, you know, they talk funny there.
Yeah.
Another one says visiting in-laws, slow down, get there late. Pennsylvania one says don't drive Star Spangled Hammered.
That's
Pretty
good.
one.
Yeah.
Hands on the wheel, not your meal. All right. So yeah, they have a 1,100 page manual that they're giving out that people like road agencies need to abide by. And yeah, you can't be funny. Sorry. Apparently it's dangerous, I guess. I don't know.
Real question.
What's
Is
up?
it actually illegal to eat and drive?
I think they don't want you to be distracted driving. right? So that's the
Right.
thing. Like, you could be distracted while eating. You could be distracted by putting your makeup on. You could be distracted by texting. You know,
Well,
all those
I get
things.
texting and putting your makeup on, and just being on your phone in general, like touching
Yeah.
it and shit, like whatever, because you have to look at it to do stuff. But like
Yeah.
if I'm driving, right, I got one hand on the wheel, I got a burger in this hand, I don't ever have to take my eyes off the wheel.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
when
I mean,
you
off
take
the
your
road.
driving tests, how are you supposed to put your hands on the wheel?
Oh my god, 10 and 2. It's bullshit. Nobody
It's not
drives like that.
It's not 10 and 2 anymore.
What is it?
It's like 4 and 7 or something.
Well,
like
when
that.
I
it's
did
like
it,
on
it
the
was-
bottom.
Oh really?
Thank you, Mayday City. Yeah,
On
no,
the
I know.
on the bottom. What is that? Like
Yeah,
8
yeah.
and 5?
8 and 5. Yeah,
No.
yeah. I don't know why, but that's yeah. They changed it, dude. No, I don't know. I mean, that is something that I've heard, but I have not checked that to be factual by any means. But yeah, I agree. You should only use one hand to do anything in the car, really. Like, how do I know this? I've driven one-handed and done a lot of different things. So you can eat, you know, you can drink, you can change radio stations. Like, where do we draw the line?
I'm
What's
just
the-
saying, because like if
Yeah.
eating's distracting, then people smoking cigarettes should get
For
tickets
sure.
all
Yeah.
the time.
Especially since you have to use two hands to light it.
Yep.
Yep. Illegal. Get them.
I'm
Cops
just saying,
get 'em.
if a cop's on the highway and he doesn't pull over somebody who's smoking a cigarette, because how'd you light that cigarette? Unless he has a passenger, then you could argue that the passenger lit it for him and handed it to him.
Yeah.
But if he's by himself, fuck him.
Yeah, you can only smoke cigarettes in the carpool lane, actually. Because then we know you have more than one person in the car.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I guess that's one way to do it. Hey man,
Yeah.
have you been paying attention to all of the sweet UFO stuff going on lately?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, well, do you want to know what one congressman has said about them?
Yes, dude. He wants to fuck his cousin. I already heard this.
No, different guy.
Oh, okay.
This is- well, he's from Missouri, so maybe. He says that UFOs, after receiving a classified briefing, he came out and said that UFOs may be, quote, extra-dimensional angels. So that's a new angle I haven't heard yet on the UFO train.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I think as a public official, even if you believe in some fucking crazy shit,
You're not allowed to talk about
you're not
it.
allowed to say it. The same reason why Trump had his Twitter taken away forever. Like when you start saying shit like that, you create this like new chapter of people who are just like fucking aliens or space angels.
I
Fucking-
knew it. I knew it this whole time.
Yeah,
actually.
I knew, dude.
Yeah.
I was on QAnon. They said they were space angels. Now look at Missouri's fucking senator saying it. It's all
Yeah.
coming together, people. I mean,
Yep.
correct. I'm sorry, sheeple. It's all coming together, sheeple.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. This is what this guy said. He said, I think it's more likely that it would be something extra dimensional than it would be something within this dimension. And then, so what I'll say is that when you start talking about things in that nature, they're extra dimensional. Well, in a lot of different scriptures, including the Bible and others, that's really the way that you describe messengers of God or, angels, that they're extra dimensional. So, anyway, we're doing great. Other people have said that UFOs were in the Bible. So, Ezekiel talking about the flying wheels, the wheels in the skies. Aliens, obviously. It also just sounds like the writing team for whatever the shows on History Channel from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. got loose. And are now just giving their shitty plot lines to people. Like, what if UFOs were aliens? Here you go. And then it's just that guy, maybe it's aliens guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh man. No,
this country's doing great.
dude. Hot take. We just need a global war.
A global war?
We just need a global war where everyone's too worried about like surviving, and then the crazy shit will die off. I mean, there's always going to be people who think crazy shit, right? But if we just have like a huge global war where, you know, that lasts for like, let's say 5 years, you know what I mean? Like it's got to last for a minute. We got to have like we got to have some mass casualties going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by the time it ends, dude, no one's going to care about fucking lizard people or space angels, because they're going to be like, yo, the war's over. Let's just go back to mowing our lawn and eating steaks on the grill, like the normal shit.
The good old days, yeah.
The 1950s, you know, whatever.
Oh, God. So, I think that's not even that uncommon of a belief. There's like catastrophic events that they call them unifying events, like 9/11 unifying event, right? Where people are like all like, oh shit, we actually care about each other, or we're gonna pretend to, like those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And I was having a conversation with somebody, and this was a while ago, but I was like, well, if you look at how like profit driven so much of the world is now, the fact that people dying, like, that's a big issue, because then you lose money if you're those guys, right? So, instead of having wars with each other, wouldn't it be smart for them to be like, hey, man, we know that there's aliens, and we gotta build these things to stop them. And then they just, like, the red herring is that UFOs and aliens don't actually exist that they know of for certain. But instead of us killing each other, we're like preparing for a war with aliens that's never going to happen.
Dude.
So instead of it being the eternal war on terrorism, it's just the war on aliens that's like nobody's ever worried about.
Dude, I think it's a great idea. I like it. Less death and more like scare tactics.
Yeah. Yeah, you get it. I was like, it makes more sense for it to be like, well, we gotta prepare. We gotta look for, you know, these alien things, and wherever, blah blah blah. Than it does to be like, all right, we gotta go get this random dictator to a country of 3 million people in the Middle East somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? And you could rationalize so many like new jobs from that. Like, you can build shit that people don't actually know how they work. We're just building parts. We build parts here, they build parts over there, and then they send them over here to this other place, and they put them all together. Meanwhile, nobody's actually building anything that actually works. And it's just this huge scheme for people to just not worry about stuff. So anyway, vote for me, 2024.
There we go.
No, not old enough. Unfortunately, but if I was, you could find me on the ballot, and you know what? You know who else you can find on a ballot in certain places? A neo-Nazi with felony convictions that was cleared to be put on a ballot in North Carolina.
No way.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you know this, but a lot of it's pretty common knowledge that if you have certain types of felonies, you're not allowed to vote.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Does this guy get on to any ballot being convicted felon for one, but also a neo-Nazi? Like, hey, like, I get it, we're supposed to be inclusive about everybody's ideas, but aren't there some that we probably shouldn't be, you know?
It is a little confusing, because I thought I didn't know it was certain felonies. I thought if you were a felon, period, you couldn't vote.
I think they can get like I think they can get it not expunged, but they can get their right to vote reinstated.
Oh, okay.
But I can't remember how. But it's only certain things.
Yeah.
Kylie's our legal expert. I'm gonna need her to comment on this, but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, or I'm not. So that's crazy though. Yeah, this guy, Joseph Gibson III, is running for House of Representatives in North Carolina, District 65, and he's like, yeah, I was just convicted felon, neo-Nazi, and I am allowed to be on the ballot, which is super confusing to me. But you know, it's super cool. All he's doing is sharing propaganda videos on Facebook and Twitter saying, you know, that Aryan race is purpose and, you know, things like that. So really cool stuff. North Carolina, fix it, dude. Yeah, somebody else vote for him. Here's the other thing is some of these places are like so small that like people run unopposed, you know?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever watched the movie The Campaign with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah.
And like that Will Ferrell's character ran unopposed all the time, so he just kept getting reelected. Like, that's real. Like, there's places where people, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that crazy lady, she's ran unopposed for most of the time. That's why she's always there, because they're like, I guess that's the only choice we have. And apparently nobody wants to be in the same room as her to run up against her, but yeah.
Damn,
Did
dude.
you find something?
Yeah, in 23 states, those with felony convictions automatically regain the right to vote when they are released from prison.
Okay.
And then it says in 14 states, people formerly incarcerated for felonies automatically regain the right to vote after completing their entire sentence, including probation.
Interesting.
I don't have a list of the states, but then it says 11 states do not automatically restore voting rights to everyone with felony convictions. They have various rules regarding people who regain their right to vote. It's important to note that people convicted of a sex offense or murder permanently can't vote unless granted a pardon to do so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is interesting, though, yeah.
The more you know, dude. Okay,
Yeah.
so just don't murder and
Sex crime
and
people.
don't be a sexual deviant, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, I don't have a good transition for this, but this next story might be about some illegal activity, some fraud action. You know, I don't think you can get felony. You could probably get felony fraud if you steal enough money, right?
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
This guy didn't steal any money, but he has deceived our hearts and our, you know, pretty much just our hearts. But the world's oldest dog,
Yeah.
Bobby, was 31, apparently. And apparently he's a freaking liar. Look at his face. That's a face of a liar if I've ever seen one.
Aw.
Guinness World Records has rescinded his record-breaking title because they don't believe that he was as old as he was.
Well, how did they test to begin with?
I don't really know. I think he chopped their leg off, count the rings, but I'm not 100% certain.
Oh my God. Yeah, like I feel like there's got to be a way to test, like that we can test to see how old they are, right? Like there's I don't know.
I think they can get you in a range. I think they can, like, you know, do a battery of like physical exams.
Yeah.
And then find out how old they are based on XYZ. But I don't think it's like radiocarbon dating where they can be like, this dog is approximately 3.1 billion years old.
Why not? Like, why can't we just like take some of their DNA?
Because I don't think it's old enough for them to be able to decipher.
That's
you know? Yeah. Anyway, whoa, weird. Okay, so the last, I'm finding a lot out in this thing. So the last record holder for oldest dog was an Australian cattle dog who died in 1939 at the age of 29 and 5 months, and that dog's name was Bluey.
Skittles.
Like the Australian dog from the TV show.
Hell yeah.
God, I probably bet that's probably where they got that name from. Anyway, kind of wild. So Bobby lived his entire life in Portugal with a family, and they, I guess, were the ones that were like, hey, we had him at the vet. We did these things, and like we have a record of having him for XYZ like amount of time, but the Guinness World Records is conducting a review of all the evidence. So we will find out in 3 months if Bobby's a fucking lying piece of shit or not.
So I
Once
googled
again,
it.
look at this face.
Dude, that dog looks precious, dude. You stop it.
He's a liar and a thief, a stealer of joy.
You have a face of a liar.
Wow.
So I googled it, and And some of these, it's. All right, I googled, is there a test to tell you how old a dog is? And the first like 6 are, look at their teeth. Okay, that one makes sense, right? Give your dog a back rub. I was like, I don't know what.
Scratch his back, see what he does.
Watch him play. I don't know how that. I guess if they're slow, you can go, oh, he's old. Check their joints. Here's the best one so far. Look for visible signs of aging.
God damn.
And
this fucking thing knows what's up.
And then it goes, alternatively, you can also use a canine dog DNA and age test to determine your dog's genetic age.
Maybe you should have led with that one, man. I don't know. I'm gonna look at his teeth. That looks. So the issue with Bobby comes to the fact that the owners say that they had him since the 90s, and then the pictures of said dog from the 90s are very similar, but the paws are different colors. And while yes, your dog's coat can change slightly, it's not like drastic, like where like my dog, when I got him, he was black and tan, or not black and tan, black and gray.
Yeah,
that bitch is tan, brown, and black now. So, not a huge jump, but in the same kind of realm colors. But
yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, they had to rely on the owner's word for the age, which I feel like is not good enough to put you in the Guinness Records book.
Yeah, it is weird.
It seems like a very flimsy. Actually, my dog's 150. Don't ask questions, but that's how old he is, and I know. So
I give him back rubs all the time. Okay.
Yeah, I looked at his teeth, and they said we're old.
Oh man,
anyway, that's your daily dog news or weekly dog news.
Well, dude, I got some more for you.
Oh shit! Double dip of the dog news. Let's go, dude.
In Rome, well, in Italy, the province of Bolzano City and surrounding Dolomites region is creating a database for dogs, right? So when you buy a dog, you have to go get them registered, and they take its DNA because they're going to start testing dog poop that's left in places, like on the sidewalk.
Public dog poop?
Yep. And if you don't clean it up, they're going to test that poop and then charge you anywhere
from... Send you a fucking bill?
Yeah, anywhere from 50 to 500 euros.
Oh, I don't
which
know
is
the conversion rate.
$54 to $540.
Okay. That's weird. Okay, that's reasonable. That's a reasonable amount.
There's about 40,000 dogs right now in that like region that they know of for sure. Yeah. They have 10,000 dogs already registered.
Oh. I lived in an apartment that made me do that.
Register your dog?
They're like, we have to take a mouth swab of your dog. We got to check his teeth to find out how old he is. And then they like send it to a company, and the company keeps that information. And then if they found dog poop, like it was an apartment complex, so if they found dog poop out there, they would fucking send it to this company, and then if whoever it was, they would like charge them.
Wow.
Yeah. But like, it's really on you if you don't pick any of it up, because they had the bag dispensers and trash cans all over the parking lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Like all the way around. So if you walked your dog around, you had one pretty much within, a little walk. And like if you weren't cleaning up your dog. And the funniest thing is like my windows all faced a vacant lot, like a vacant property. And I would see people that would just walk out there and let their dog shit out there, and then they wouldn't clean any of it up. I'm like, it's not that hard. Just fucking take the bag. Like, you guys are all pieces of shit. I don't understand it. I'm just gonna, instead of using this really convenient baggie that they've given me to accommodate my dog that lives here with me, I'm going to walk out in the middle of this field that I don't know if there's snakes or anything that live there, but whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to have my dog shit in the empty field.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Also, Any owner who refuses the DNA profiling for their dog will face a fine of 292 to 1,048 euros.
Jesus.
So and I don't get the range because, like, is it cheaper because your dog is smaller? Like, all right, you have a Chihuahua, so you pay less for refusing.
Yeah. But then again, maybe the smaller dogs shit more. You know, less room in their digestive system, so it's less of a trip for the food to come back out.
Yeah, so I've had little dogs and I've had big dogs, and big dogs definitely shit more.
Oh, all right.
Definitely.
I've only ever had big dogs, so I don't know. He shits a lot, but
Yeah.
I thought maybe they'd like just rabbit turds all over the place, you know. That's crazy though. I mean, I can see where people are gonna be like, nope, this is what George Orwell was talking about, man. Because, you know, anytime that there's anything like this, they get real weird about it.
So here's where the story, I feel like, gets better. Like, obviously, that's pretty extreme. So the reason why they're doing this is because in this last year, they've had a few hundred complaints about improper management of public land, which was like dog areas.
Yeah.
And they were saying the only way that law enforcement could catch people doing this was by going and staking out those places.
Which is a waste of resources.
Dude, come on. Just you. Look, dude, we're cops. We're Italian cops. You know what I mean?
They're in the van. They got the binoculars. They're like, night vision on.
Dude. Just fucking. Wait, did you see that? That dog just shit. They're not picking it up. Get out. Go get him.
Hold on, was that a shit or a piss? I don't know. Can't tell. He squatted funny. I don't know.
Dude. Oh my God, that'd be so hilarious.
Yeah. I would like that TV show to be made immediately. And I want to know what the budget that they were blowing on sending people to stake out for dog poop. Like, it's got to be enough. Like there's got to be a ton of dog shit if they're really doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. I don't have anything else. Should we get to the big stuff?
We should.
All right.
If you've made it this far, and we appreciate you for making it this far, hit that like button, subscribe, turn the bell on for notifications if you're on YouTube. Also, leave comments if you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple Podcasts, if you're anywhere listening right now, leave us a comment.
Yep.
We appreciate you.
Yeah. Follow the link in the description to do all of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linktree/walkpod, WOKPOD. All right.
All right.
All right, here we go. Am I the asshole for saying my friend was overreacting about feeling unsafe? All right, well, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
I, 15 female, have a scholarship to a private school that would otherwise charge a total of £120,000. I have a group of 6 friends, all 14 to 15-year-old girls, who all range from regular middle class to very wealthy. We occasionally have sleepovers at each other's houses, and I'm the only one who's yet to host one. Here's the thing. Okay. I live in a council house. Basically, a house we don't have to pay for in a very lower class neighborhood full of crime, burglaries, robberies, fights, etc.
Gotcha.
My friends know that I'm poor, but they'd never treat me differently for it until now. We planned to stay at my place for the weekend, and we went straight to my home after school. On the way, one of my friends kept making remarks about how intimidating the people were in my area, and the others just agreed, including calling this homeless man who came up to ask us for money creepy and perverted. This group of teenagers started randomly harassing and yelling stuff at us, trying to start an argument, and when they left, my friends called them trashy and chavs, a derogatory term for lower class people. This chick is fucking, she understands.
Yeah, I like that she's spelling it out for us.
Previously, I'd opened up to them about how hard it was to live there and how our house has been vandalized before and how we had to hide valuables in case of a break-in. I live in a small 2-bedroom flat on the first floor. My bedroom was only a box room that's small enough for my bed to fit exactly at one end, and I sleep on the mattress on the floor. Oh, fuck, man. I feel real bad. And the only other furniture I had was a box of storage, and when my friends saw this, they kept giving fake sarcastic compliments about how cozy and tiny it was. Damn. After about an hour, one of my friends called her parents to pick her up and made some excuse about how she suddenly remembered that she had a family thing planned, which I initially believed. Then, soon after, another friend also said she had to leave as she was feeling sick. At this point, I got suspicious, and then eventually revealed that they felt unsafe staying over in my neighborhood, and they wanted to leave.
Yeah.
One friend said my house felt dangerous since my mom was working a shift that afternoon and wouldn't come home until midnight. And my friend was scared someone might break in, which was irrationally, because I've lived here my whole life and I was fine. She was the richest of us and lived in a huge house and had no idea what it was like to not be privileged. She had an awful experience in a poor neighborhood a few years ago, so I get what she was feeling, but she was literally staying inside, so there's no reason for her to overreact. I told her she was being overdramatic, yet the rest of my friends all agreed with what she was saying. She was justified in her feeling unsafe. I couldn't stand how they made me feel alienated for being poor and how they couldn't even walk in my shoes for one weekend. Yeah. In the heat of the moment, I said my friends were all spoiled brats, and we ended up in a huge argument, and they ended up canceling the sleepover. Am I the asshole?
Wow. That one's got a lot of layers to it. A lot of socioeconomic layers.
Yeah.
I don't know. How you feeling about it?
I'm gonna say that she's not the asshole.
Yeah.
You knew ahead of time that you were coming here, and you already knew that she talked about our neighborhood in a certain way, and I don't know, like lying about it to get out of it, and then turning around and going, "Oh, I feel unsafe here." It's like it.
Yeah. I guess I would rather them say that at the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't feel safe, say that, and make that the thing. Don't beat around the bush. Don't have these fake excuses. Oh, my mom told me we're doing a thing that we didn't know about, even though you planned this sleepover, for however long. Does it say in the beginning that they specifically avoided hers because she said it was not great, or I don't remember.
No, she just said that I'm the only one who has yet to. I was the only one who had yet to host one.
But because she lived in where.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they knew where she lived. They knew about it. Yes. I'm sure she's told them stories about what's happened.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Well, it's your turn. Like, it's not fair that you haven't done it yet, or whatever." However that went. But then they couldn't. Like she said, they couldn't even put themselves in my shoes for. One weekend, that's crazy.
I honestly believe I honestly side with OP on this one, dude.
Yeah,
that when she called them spoiled brat, it's 100% what it was.
Yeah,
you're just it's. I think it's like a bias thing. You're more well off, so you're not used to the crazy shit that she's talked about happening in your neighborhood. So in the back of their mind, they're like, oh, well, so they could actually feel unsafe, but it's because of their privilege, because they never had to experience anything difficult.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know, even, obviously I didn't live in, the worst places, but never also the best places, but I think having been in places like that were, pretty, dodgy, I think that opened me up to be a little more, I don't know, just more versatile. I am not sketched out by everything that I could be, because I've been in some places where I'm like, oh, well, all right, so there's that. It sounds like these girls, their friends, haven't experienced a lot of things, and this probably would have been very beneficial to them because of how closed off their world is, in comparison.
Yeah. But, no. So, and I've never admitted. I don't think I've ever admitted this out loud, but growing up poor for me has has changed for me, because I can remember mom would make a big fucking pot of ramen noodles and chop up hot dogs in it, and that's what we were eating,
yeah.
And just living on the edge of town where no one was, and if we ever needed help, we were probably screwed.
Yeah,
because I lived in a really rural, right, out in the woods, out in the sticks. Rural, so it was really rural. I never lived in a city poor, which I imagine is even crazier.
Yeah, you're more in it with people who are in that same situation, plus also the desperate kind of people that are there.
Yeah,
that I can. Yeah,
but it's made me like shun away from shit like that. Like, if I go to someone's house, like, because I go home every now and then, and I have friends that have never really made it out of that like scenario, like that situation in life, and I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it just
like you've worked pretty hard to get out of that, and you don't want to like be around it anymore. Or is that the deal, or what?
Yeah. Like it's just like, and it just makes me think of everything that happened growing up, and so when I'm around that stuff again, it's just like fuck.
Brings
but
up,
I would
like, a lot
never
of trauma in that.
I guess so. Yeah, like just like memories. But I would never like agree to go to someone's house and then go, I'm not gonna stay here. Like I would just
actually,
you would just suck it up. You're just like, all right, I'm here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think OP is not the asshole at all. I think she's fucking right for being angry.
Yeah, 100%. It's so fucked up that her friends are like.
Which is crazy because at the start of this post, she literally defends them.
Yeah.
My friends know that I'm poor, but I've never treated differently until now.
Yeah.
It's like, it just sucks. Like she was she's like, it's crazy that this chick's pretty mature for 15.
Yeah.
Like, she had the forethought to go, like, I know they're not bad people, but this is what happened.
Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely wild to think about, like, you know, you went to school with people who, you know, you obviously dealt with a lot of things, but like there was never like I went to some of my friends' houses who had, like, you know, less than what I had.
Yeah.
And I went to people's houses who had more. Like, I just can't put myself in the position where I'd be like, actually, can't be here. Like, your house is actually awful and terrifying, and like, you know, and maybe it's growing up in the trailer park. You know, put some edge on this.
I mean,
steel, you know
I could even understand if like they were at her house and like they heard gunshots or they heard like police sirens, or, like crazy.
Or
shit
somebody
was
did
happening.
break in while they were there.
Yeah, or someone broke in. Like, they tried to stay a time before that, and someone tried to break in. Then I could see how they were just like, yeah,
they haven't
I'm
even,
sorry, I tried, I can't.
Yeah. They hadn't even experienced it. They're like, actually, it's just too small. And there was a homeless guy that said something that OP didn't even make it seem like it was like aggressive what the homeless man did. She said that they said,
so
like, they were mad, or they were like, said that he was being pervy and
a homeless
creepy.
man came up to us asking for money, and they called him creepy and perverted.
Yeah, so like OP, this is a very good like juxtaposition of how OP is viewed. Like, he came up, asked for money, and they're like, actually, you're a fucking creeper who probably just wants to fuck us. And, like, you know, like, that's a tale of two cities for sure. Like, these very different perspectives in that one little setting. Or that one little comment, which is, no. Yeah, not the asshole. I agree.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let us know if you agree or disagree with us. Maybe I was poor too long, and it's made me think weird, and maybe Levi's just, you know, Levi with his beautiful hair and great speaking voice, and, you know.
Okay.
He's only going to be single for so long, ladies. You better fucking get on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I want to thank our friends, the West of Nowhere, or not West of Nowhere, that's this one. The West of Nowhere friends we would like to thank are the Remedial Scholar, Kicking It with the Kellys, the Remedy Room, Dutch in Denver. Who am I missing?
No new friends.
No new friends. There we go.
What about the Macabre people?
Yeah, Macabre Emporium with David and Sarah, and Real Creature Feature, my buddy Mac. All good people, all good shows you can check out. Macabre Emporium's like some spooky / I don't know, like, I don't know, they do a lot of different, like a wide variety of stuff. They tell each other stories and stuff, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
And then Real Creature Feature is like talking about sometimes cryptids, but like different things, and doing not necessarily like a deep dive on it, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Hell yeah. All right.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's it.
All right. I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.
Tip your bartender.